Good morning, everyone. House Committee on Transportation will come to order. The clerk will open the roll for attendance. All right, clerk will close the roll. So subcommittee report that we have today is from the Highway Safety and Policy Subcommittee. So I will turn over to Subcommittee Chair Delegate Reed for the subcommittee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the first bill that we have up is House Bill 302 from Delegate Moorfield. And this particular piece of legislation is about being able to expand the operation of ATVs down in the Southwest Regional Recreational Authority. This is designed to support economic development, but there was a host of questions and concerns, and so the subcommittee asked that the legislation be continued until the 2027 session, and I so move.
Moved and seconded to continue legislation to the 2027 session. That is a voice vote. So all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, the bill is continued. Thank you. Delegate Reed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 320 from Delegate Josh Cole is intended to prohibit individuals from live streaming while they are operating a motor vehicle. This is intended to prevent many of the accidents that people are using to develop online social media presence. We have asked to, this was reported with a substitute, and we've been asked to re-refer this substitute to courts, and so therefore I so move.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to report this bill and refer it to courts. The clerk will open the roll. Hold on. The clerk will destroy the roll. It will need to be amended to report with the substitute. All right, members, please cast your votes. All right, the clerk will close the roll. Delegate Reed, I know the next bill, the patron has an amendment, but I'll let you go ahead and introduce the committee report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 365 is a piece of legislation that was brought to us by the state police, and it would provide them with the ability to be able to have discussions with local law enforcement for waiving the for waiving fines and disregard parking and stopping provisions in the event that they were in particular situations where they were pursuing someone and it was in an undercover kind of related situation. We made a lot of changes to this during the subcommittee, but I understand that the patron has a committee before us, and so what I'd like to do right now is to move the subcommittee's amendments and then have that before the full committee for the patron to be able to make adjustments.
Okay, we have a motion to, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, so the amended bill is before us, and Delegate McLaughlin, if you'd like to present the amended bill is before us, if you'd like to present your amendment that we
Thank
worked
you, Madam
on
Chair.
between then and now.
Again, this did pass out 7 yeses, 1 abstention. And after the abstention, I went to the Delegate Bennett Parker, who actually, I think, did the right thing and gave me her concerns. And so we have actually wanted to amend our own bill again to make sure that we get this right. So if you look at line 88, after officer, we added, provided that such law enforcement officer is acting in his official capacity or is engaged in enforcement activities or investigations. And I'll just briefly go back to it for those that didn't hear it. Currently, let's just, for example, if you have a state trooper that is in the median in a grassy area and they're running radar, unless they have their lights and sirens on, they're actually in violation of code. Now, I think we could all agree that it would be probably ineffective, right, to run radar with your lights and sirens on. That's true, I know. It's not a joke. And same thing, if a deputy gets called to the Walmart, let's say for a larceny call, and they pull up in front of Walmart, and they park in front of the Walmart, but they turn off their lights and siren, again, that's in violation. So we wanted to make sure that this, we're not allowing people that are off duty to be able to do this. And so I want to thank the delegate for working with me on this. That's the amendment.
Wonderful, thank you. So we can have a motion to adopt the amendment?
So moved.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so the bill on its overall substance was heard in the subcommittee. This is a kind of a technical amendment, really just to get to the intent of the bill, but I will entertain if there is anyone that has questions for the patron, since we are making a small change from the committee. And I will ask if there is anyone in the audience who is here to speak on what we've changed. If your support has changed because of this amendment, and you'd like to speak on the bill, we've kind of gone over and litigated the substance in the subcommittee, but since we are making an amendment, do you want to give the public an opportunity to come and speak if you have an opinion in support of this bill for this change? Delegate Watts, you have a question?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I just wanted to make sure that the new language applies to when in performance of their duties. It is not just at any time.
Madam Chair?
Delegate.
Yes, ma'am. I would say that if you look at it, it says, in acting in his official capacity or is engaged in enforcement activities and investigations.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Delegate. All right, so anyone in the audience here to speak in favor of the bill with the amendment? Anyone in the audience here to speak in opposition to the bill's amendment? All right.
Madam Chair, thank you, Madam Chair. I move the legislation as it has been amended.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. The clerk will open the roll.
This is so pretty. This is so pretty.
Clerk will close the roll. Bill reports. Thank you, Delegate.
Thank you.
Delegate Reed?
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. The next one is House Bill 587 from Delegate Ballard, which is very similar to the very first one that we did, except for a different area of Southwest Virginia to be able to allow the use of all-terrain vehicles for the purposes of economic development trail rides. This, again, has some of the same issues that we were looking at in Delegate Moorfield's bill. So the committee recommended continuing until 2027 so that the stakeholders can continue to work through the issues, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded. The clerk will open, I'm sorry, this is a voice vote to continue. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, the bill's continue. Delegate Reed?
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 646 from Delegate Kent would allow the use of green warning lights on certain farm vehicles for the purposes of being able to better display along a highway for safety purposes. The subcommittee recommended reporting 8-0, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded to report the bill. The clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. Bill reports. Delegate Reed?
Madam Chair, House Bill 661 by Delegate Willett actually makes some changes to the use of stopping with bicycles at turn sections or at intersections and allows yielding and also provides for riding two abreast as long as they are not impeding the normal and reasonable movement of traffic. The subcommittee recommended reporting 8-0, and I so move.
All right, moved and seconded. The clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. Delegate Reed?
Madam Chair, House Bill 783 by Delegate Anderson is allowing localities, towns, and cities to be able to add contract parking enforcement in high tourism localities. This removed the requirement for a threshold of a certain population, making this available to all localities now across the Commonwealth. It passed out of the subcommittee 7-1, and I so move.
All right, moved and seconded. The clerk will open the roll. Report.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, recommending reporting with amendments.
Clerk will close the roll. Delegate Reed?
Madam Chair, House Bill 812 from Delegate Carr, again, is making improvements to the guidelines concerning bicycles and their use in areas around intersections. The bill also sets requirements for signals that are displayed with bicycle signals. This is where there is actually a signal that can be used in certain localities like Manassas and Arlington, which gives the first preference to a bicycle to move forward and then a regular motorized vehicle. There was a substitute from the subcommittee, and it was recommended passing 8-0, and I so move the substitute.
All right, it's been moved to report with substitute, and that motion's been seconded, and the clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. Bill reports 20-1. Delegate Reed, I think one more bill, right?
Yes, Madam Chair. House Bill 819, also by Delegate Carr. It is for pedestrians on roadways that are on divided highways, permits pedestrians when walking on a roadway that is divided by a physical barrier, that when there are no shoulders on the highway present, for the pedestrians to be able to keep to the extreme right side of the edge of the roadway, regardless of the direction of the traffic that they face. It was passed by the subcommittee on a vote of 8-0, and I so move.
All right, moved and seconded. The clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. And the bill reports 20-1. Delegate Reed. Delegate Reed.
Madam Chair, that completes the report from the subcommittee.
Excellent. All right, thank you for the subcommittee report. Seeing no other business before the full committee today, I hear a motion to adjourn. All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, any opposed? We are adjourned. Have a great day, everyone.